Okay folks, our oil change is all done. I refilled the crankcase with oil. I checked the dipstick, it's full. Couple things just to mention. When I put the oil plug back in, I snugged it down good and tight. I know it's not going to come loose. Also, when I spun on the oil filter, again, had to make sure that it was lined up perfectly with the threads. If you try to put a filter on and it turns in a difficult manner, that it turns tight, then that's not, your threads aren't lined up right. It should basically spin on. So you spin it all the way on until it makes contact, and then maybe another half turn or so to snug it up so that it's good and tight. You don't want to try to crank it too much, but just enough that it's good and tight so that it won't leak. After completing this, what I did is I pulled the car down off the ramp so it's on the level. That way I could check to make sure that the oil level was correct. I also crawled underneath one last time just to make sure there were no leaks, that everything was sealed tight, and I'm in good shape. So this is completed. One other thing that people might want to ask, well, what do I do with my old oil? Well, there are oil recycling places, various places. Probably there's one close to you, maybe at a garage or some other recycling center where you can actually take your old oil. There's usually some kind of a tank there that you can put it into, so you can recycle it. It doesn't have to be a problem, an environmental hazard to deal with. I also have a couple friends who have commercial garages, and they use their old oil to heat their garages in the wintertime. They have an oil burner that burns the waste oil, and then that keeps their garages warm for them to work, and it makes it easier than having to buy fuel oil and so on. So they've got it set up that way. So I'll collect it in a barrel, and when my barrel is full, I'll take it over to them and give it to them, basically. So it gets it out of my way. I'm not dumping it irresponsibly anywhere, and also then it's repurposed, whether it's recycled at a recycle center or burned in an oil burner that's designed to do that, then so much the better. So that's what I do with my waste oil, and you can do the same thing with yours. While we're here looking at the car, I just wanted to mention one other little detail, one other thing that you can do. If you have an older vehicle, maybe you've noticed that the front lenses on your headlights over time begin to fog over a little bit. That just has to do with frictional wear and just kind of a tiny scratching on the plastic surfaces. The problem with this, and you can see I need to do this again on mine here, the problem with this is it reduces your effectiveness of your headlights at night if the lens isn't clear. Now, they make a kit that you can buy at an auto parts store to restore these. It's got basically some type of chemical in it, a paste in it that will, in effect, sand them clear again. It's got various other little tools that you use a drill with. I've used those already, but you don't have to use something like that. You can go much simpler and easier. All you need to make this shine again and be bright again is a tube of toothpaste, a damp sponge, and a spray bottle with water in it. Basically, all that you do is you spray it to wet the surface. You make sure your sponge is damp. You put some toothpaste, and by toothpaste I mean the white paste, not the gel type, but the paste type, because it's got an abrasive in it, and that's what you want. And you put that on the sponge, and you just kind of rub this, scrub the headlights with it. Just rub it and rub it and rub it for a while, and then you take your spray bottle and spray it to clear it off, and voila, you have almost new headlight lenses again, and it didn't cost you much at all. My wife also believes that probably the same type of adhesive cleanser that you use for a glass top stove would also work on this. I haven't tried that yet, but I'll see. She might loan me some of hers, and we'll see how that works. But this is a cheap, simple way to prolong the life of your headlight lenses and keep you safer at night when you're driving, to keep your headlights shining as brightly as possible. So that's just another little tip you can try if you have an older vehicle. and maybe it'll help with your nighttime driving. So thank you for watching this series on the oil change, and we'll have more maintenance things to come. We're into the spring of the year, so that means I've got to do lots of other getting ready equipment maintenance types of things, so look for those. We've got mowers to sharpen blades and change oil, and tractors to do oil changes, and so on and so forth to get ready for the spring season. So that'll be coming as well. Please look for them, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.